The ultimate strength is having control over your mindset, your discipline, your integrity, who you are as a human.
You can take control of your body, keep training, and come back stronger.
And it's a lot less complicated than you probably think.
Let's get started.
3, 2, 1.
Heavy lifting has uplifted myself and all of the athletes I've worked with. It's lifted our spirits. It's helped build some serious bodies that look awesome and do some awesome stuff.
When we're developing strength and character, the process of that development is painful and uncomfortable. Lifting weights, painful and uncomfortable. But the end result, you're stronger at the end of the day.
I want you to dig deep and find a reason
Come on!
that will last forever.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the bodybuilding.com headquarters. Today I'm your host for this live workout. My name is Dr. Kaleb Redden. I'm a sports medicine physician currently practicing here in Meridian, Idaho, beautiful Idaho. And today I'm going to take you through a full body workout. And this workout is basically designed to help you to be fit, to be healthy, to keep you active, to incorporate a little bit of the bodybuilding as well as weight training, resistance training into your programming. And it's built to help you go through a 3-day week program. It's set up in blocks where you're learning lots of different types of exercises so that you don't get bored, number one, and so that you get muscle recruitment, and so that you get to understand a little bit more about biomechanics and all of these things and find out the best exercises that work for you. So it's kind of like a sampler platter, if you will. You get to do a little bit of everything, and it's a very sort of a healthy way to get moving during the week. You get your steps in on the days where you're not lifting weights, and you get your resistance training in during the rest of the time. This type of a thing is going to help with tendon integrity, with bone structure, obviously building muscle, losing fat, so definitely a worthwhile endeavor. So I'm thankful that you guys are here with me today following along. If you have questions, feel free to chime in through the YouTube or the Facebook Live, and we'll try to answer those as we go. And also, if you're interested, I forgot to mention, I am also the team physician for Caged Muscle, and we do have a sale today. It's a flash sale, 1-day sale, so products are on sale today. If you buy 3, it's 25% off. If you buy 2, it's 20% off. If you buy 1, it's 15% off. And you can actually use a DocThor code if you like for 15% off the rest of the time. I personally use pre-cage supplements, so it's a pre-workout supplement before all of my training sessions. So I've already got that in. It's got my vasodilatory effects. It's got my stimulants in there. It's got some amino acids. I like the way that helps me focus through my workouts. I love the pump that I get from it. And then during my workouts, I choose to use an amino synergy, which is amino acids with a little bit of extra caffeine to bump me through my workouts. And then at the end, I use Recaged to help me refuel the protein synthesis. And throughout the day, I used amino acids, hydrocharge, and also some whey protein. So those are the things that I use. If you have questions about supplements, happy to answer those as well. But without further ado, we're going to get right into the workout here. I've only got an hour with you, so I'm going to quit flapping my jaw and get to cracking some weights. So before you do any weight training or any aerobic or anaerobic exercise, I recommend that you do a dynamic warm-up. I'm going to give you an example today of what a dynamic warm-up looks like, something that's going to move all of my joints, help me to get my heart rate up, get a little warmth into the tissues, which is also why I wear a hoodie to start off with. Be pulling that off eventually, and then we'll get right into it. So we're going to get working. First thing I'm going to do, just really simple, I'm going to grab a couple of these dumbbells and warm up my shoulders. Sorry guys, I should have set these up earlier, but I'm going to hit a couple of internal and external rotation movements. I don't have a certain number that I hit. I go until I start to feel a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of warmth in my shoulders, and then I'll switch and do a different orientation. So as I'm kind of watching the clock and going through here, this is an external rotation. This is internal rotation of the shoulder. It's going to help me warm up my rotator cuff, some of my back muscles, and some of my anterior chamber muscles as well with my pecs. So we'll hit that for a little bit until we start to get warm. Change the orientation of my humerus a little bit, which is the arm bone. Changes the fulcrum point for the rotator cuff. Man, I gotta tell you, it's always hard getting used to training in a quiet gym without people around. Got a couple of military press. Today also we're gonna be doing some biceps and triceps, so I'm gonna try to get my biceps and triceps warmed up, doing some swinging curls. I wanna swing because I wanna feel that stability in my core, feel it into my back and my abs just a little bit, so I'm okay with you swinging when you're doing a dynamic warm-up. It's meant to be ballistic, it's low weight, you're not gonna hurt yourself. Try to move a little bit. Same thing with some tricep kickbacks. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave these over here in case I need them again. Next thing I'm gonna do is some jumping jacks. Back a little bit. Some jumping jacks just get my heart rate up a little bit. About 30 seconds worth. That's good. Gonna do some swinging, some ballistic hip mobility. Whenever I'm training legs, I like warming up my abductors and adductors like this. You're using both concentric and eccentric activation of those sort of inner and outer leg muscles. Switch to go to the front, hamstrings, hip flexors, hip extenders. So I'm getting a stretch, a muscle activation, contraction with both sort of an eccentric and a concentric load. Switch sides. I'll go over here so I'm not facing the back to the camera. Good.
How long does that warm-up usually last for?
Depending on what I'm doing, next thing I'm gonna do is sort of some bent over hamstring walks. If I'm just doing a leg day, my body has had a few more injuries in my lower body, so leg day takes me 15 minutes to warm up probably. If you start on a bike, do a dynamic warm up. If it's a bodybuilding day where I'm just training like biceps or triceps, it might only be 5 minutes, but on a back day or a leg day, it's gonna be 15 minutes. So I'm gonna hit some burpees, and then I'm gonna do some army crawls, and then some squat jumps when we're ready to hit that squat. So we got about 1 to 2 minutes left. So we'll hit some burpees, get room here. Those, I'm gonna do some crawls. All right. So I can feel my heart rate's up. You know, it's above 100, definitely above my resting. And you know, if you can talk in full sentences, you're probably not ready yet. So, you know, I can talk to you, but I'm not gassed, but my heart rate's up a little bit. And I know that I'm, you know, it's definitely above resting. I'm feeling warm. So I feel like it's ready for me to get started. I wear knee sleeves when I'm training legs because I've had 4 knee surgeries and I'm not as young as I used to be, so I just try to protect myself any way I can. And I think that having knee support helps with proprioception, keeps the joints warm, and I think they're reasonably a reasonable part of your training gear. I like to use Gym Reapers. It's a company here that's local. I think they make a really good product. The other thing on this workout, it's designed to be 4 sets of 15. In the interest of time today, I'm probably only gonna make it through 3 sets of 15 on everything, just so that I can show you guys, kind of what we're doing here. And the RPE should be around 7, I think 7 to 8, right? I'm probably not gonna go that heavy to get a 7 to 8, just so that I can make sure I'm still able to talk and answer questions. So, talked about warm-up sets. I really think that rev-up sets are critical for injury prevention. If you jump on and hit the weights and you go up in weight too fast, that's where I see tendon and muscle damage in the clinic all the time. So I always recommend a rev-up set or a warm-up set where you're increasing weight or you're increasing reps so that your neuromuscular system, your CNS, your central nervous system, is ready and anticipates those heavier weights. So we got like 135 on here. We're gonna hit a couple of sets before we get into our working sets. These are high bar squats on this plan. Each day you're gonna do a different squat motion. Today I'm gonna try to show you how to do a high bar squat. So it's gonna rest a little bit higher up on my shoulder blades. And for my biomechanics, I have long levers, long legs, short spine. So it's not biomechanically the most advantageous for me, but I'm gonna show you guys on this program what it's like. The other thing is, in case you're at home watching and wondering, doing a live workout with a bunch of awesome camera guys. You got cords and wires everywhere, headphone on, quiet gym. It's hard to go ham when you're all keyed up. All right, so these are gonna count as my working sets, about 15 minutes in here. So we're gonna hit 3 sets of 15 at this weight, and then we're gonna move on to our next exercise. So, anybody have any questions that they're popping in on, or?
We got plenty of questions coming in.
Let's go, I got about 2 minutes here, we'll answer a couple questions.
One from YouTube, what is your favorite flavor of pre-caged?
I like the pink lemonade. I'm gonna keep track of the time as we're going, but I like pink lemonade. I'm not a big lemonade fan, but the pink lemonade from Cage is really good.
There's another question from YouTube, what is your favorite quad exercise for mass?
For mass, squats. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think, a squat, you're gonna be able to generate the most force. So I think squats or a leg press, because you can go a lot heavier on a leg press. It incorporates more muscle fibers, incorporates more of those spindles that aren't being utilized on those heavier weights. So squat and leg press for sure. Thank you, YouTube.
Another couple of questions from YouTube. Which program is this from, and is this a good program for beginners?
Absolutely. So that's another thing. Hugely beneficial for beginners. This is called Total Body Strong. You can find it on the All Access with bodybuilding.com. An amazing program for a beginner. Number one, because you get to sample a lot of different exercises. Number two, it's not an everyday 2-hour-a-day workout for 7 days a week. This is something you can gradually kind of work into. So it's 3 days a week. Those other days you can do, just count your steps, go for a bike ride, walk your dog, stay active, stay moving, but you're gonna be able to get enough resistance training in during the week that you're gonna increase your health. You're gonna see all kinds of benefits from it. but you're not going to get hurt. Hopefully, you're not going to get hurt. You're not maxing out. This isn't a program that's based on how much weight you can lift. It's just keeping you working. Excellent questions. All right, let's get at it. Chris Gethman would say, let's have it. Let's have it. Okay, so that's one working set done. And we'll hit 2 more of those. Should be right on time.
On YouTube, Gamer YT asks, do you have any tips on squat form?
Yeah, a lot. Squat form comes down to 2 things: your biomechanics and your goal. What is the ratio of your tibia, your femur, your spine? What type of acetabular coverage do you have? That's the actual bones in the joint. And your shoulder mobility. The biomechanics of a squat, first and foremost, is huge. The second, what's your goal? Are you powerlifting? Are you just trying to get fit? Are you bodybuilding? Are you crossfitting? You doing squats because you just like squats? Those 2 things kind of determine where that conversation goes.
Nick asks, what kind of belt do you use?
Athletics. I like the lever belts because you can set it whether you're on bulking phase or cutting phase. You can change the lever. You can get it to where it's comfortable. You get it comfortable, and then when you squeeze in, you can get it nice and tight, hit your lift, and then relax. Sometimes with a prong belt, it's hard to get it tight enough and undone after your set. So I like a lever belt from Athletics, and they can make them custom for you. So this is Doc Thor's. Pretty awesome. All right, let's get at it. Another set. We can talk about why you use a belt on another day. It's not for injury prevention, in case anybody's wondering. Yeah, that new song, I do my hair flip, check my nails. It's now, I do my belt flick, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Yeah.
We have a
Gotta have
question
fun.
on Facebook. This one's
Facebook.
from Rob. How do you figure out what weight to start at?
Good question. So some of that's just come from experience. A good rule of thumb is if you can squat your body weight when you're starting out, that's a pretty good place to work out at. This is just a little bit under my body weight. So if you're starting out, probably like 80% of your body weight is a good place to start. If it feels super easy, you can always add more weight. And don't let your pride get in front of your success. If it's too heavy, pull weight off. It's totally okay. But I think body weight's a good place to shoot for. And then as you get stronger, obviously that'll go up. Like my 1 rep max is more than this, obviously, quite a bit more. It's a little bit more than 2 times my body weight. I think I weigh about 195, and my squat max is around like 450. Not great for my biomechanics, but when I'm training, I take a percentage of that and put that into my programming. So at 15 reps with 4 sets, I think if you can do that with your body weight, that'd be great.
This question from Brent on YouTube.
Brent!
Can you talk about your breathing techniques?
Oh yeah, like when you set up. Let me hit this set, and then I'll talk about that. Good question. Very insightful. Okay, so again, I would be doing one more set of that for the workout or for the programming, but to keep time here, we'll just go 3. But a big part of the squat is intra-abdominal pressure. So as you see me take a deep breath in, building my chest and my abdominal cavity as full as I can possibly get it, allows me to keep tension in my core so that I can protect myself. And as you're going down, you want to take that deep breath in and then letting it out really, really slowly. And then once you hit the bottom, exhale as you're coming up. So in, going down, up, breathing out, and then make sure at the top of every rep, you're refilling those lungs, refilling that abdominal pressure. So if you watch, big time powerlifters, they'll take a huge breath and they won't breathe anything out until they're at the top of their lift. So big breath in on the way up, right? So that's kind of how I'm working through that. Good question.
This question from YouTube, Darren asks, what is your rest period?
On this, it's a lot shorter than it normally would be. But generally speaking on this, I'd probably say 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. It's probably all you want to do. You want to be breathing hard through the whole thing. Okay, that's 3. I'm gonna have to move on to the next. So we're gonna do dumbbell Romanian deadlift. So, I'm gonna walk over here. I'm actually gonna kick off my platform shoes for the rest of this. And thank you everybody who's commenting and throwing in questions, because I feel like if you're asking it, there's probably somebody else that's interested in it and wants to learn. And if you're not willing to ask questions, if you're not willing to learn, then I think your progress stops in life, right? So, and if you're willing to learn from anyone, I think if you're willing to learn from anyone, nobody can stop you. If you're not willing to learn, you're done growing. So, Romanian deadlifts. I'm gonna use straps because I don't really care about making my hands stronger on this. What I'm trying to do is build my posterior chamber, so grip strength isn't as big of an issue to me today. I'm gonna stand right here if that's all right. 15. So we hit 3 of those.
Question from YouTube. Any tips for somebody recovering from a lower body injury?
Define lower body.
I can't. They didn't specify.
I probably can't answer that in enough time, but you got to come see me in clinic for that.
Royce on YouTube asks, how do you feel about full body workouts, I guess like this one, versus splits?
I think it all kind of depends on your goal. I mean, I think this can be wildly beneficial for overall fitness and health. If your goal is to get one part of your body stronger than another, obviously a total body workout might not be the best. Hopefully I didn't wreck your sound system, but I'm getting hot.
Here's a question from Brent on YouTube. What does pre-workout do to help my workout?
Caffeine's a stimulant, helps you to focus, excites your central nervous system, actually improves in some ways vascularity and the electron transport chain at a cellular level. Same thing people use caffeine for to get awake in the morning. Amino acids, which are going to help with protein building blocks. Vasodilatory effects from the things like the citrulline and the beta-alanine, which engorge the muscles, bring blood and oxygen to the muscles. So it optimizes your performance. Necessity? No. It's just an adjunct. The term supplement means to add to. So you don't have to use it. I just prefer to use it. All right.
This question comes in from Nick. Are dumbbell Romanian deadlifts safer for the back than barbell deads?
No, they're not necessarily safer. It's just different. You can change the range of motion. Obviously, like where your shoulders are at, you can bring the weight closer to your body with a dumbbell than you can a conventional barbell. But the other thing too is this is a Romanian deadlift, so not quite the same as a conventional deadlift in general.
Question from Darren on YouTube. Why are you changing shoes?
Good question, Darren. Because of the length of my legs and the short spine and short T-Rex arms, it helps me to put on a platform shoe with a little bit of a wedge. It allows me to get more depth at my hip without compromising my knee as much. So it helps with my axial load bearing weightlifting. So squats, don't want to use it on deadlift because I don't want it to push me forward. So like putting a lift in your shoe, that's exaggerated, but a lift in your shoe brings your knee forward, right? I don't want that in a deadlift. So I wear flat shoes when I deadlift, hence why I took them off for this.
Debbie on YouTube wants to know, what would you suggest as an alternative to traditional squats?
So, great way to change it up from a traditional squat are open chain exercises like a leg extension, partnering that with a leg curl, like on a machine. Lunges work really well, and leg press work really well. So, thank you for the comment and the question. If you have a home gym, lunges, body weight squats, box jumps, band workout, those type of things work great. If you have a gym, leg press, hack squat, lunges, all those things work well to activate the lower body, which is what your squats are doing. And then, again, just another quick aside for the people who are asking about supplements. You can go to cagemuscle.com and learn about the supplements that I'm talking about that I take. Again, they're on sale today, 25% if you buy 3, 20% if you buy 2, 15 if you buy 1. But bodybuilding.com also, if you search any supplement ingredient, there'll be an article, and they're generally they're well written and analytical that can explain a little bit more about what the ingredients are in the supplements that you're taking, and give you an idea of whether or not it's something that you should or shouldn't take. All right, last set here. All right. One more for good measure. Put these down over here. All right, so next we're gonna hit some weighted push-ups. Don't need knee sleeves for those.
Jesus on Facebook wants to get a better look at that belt.
The Doc Thor, you gotta earn that. You can't have that. Super soft leather, really malleable, and a lever clip. So I'll put that right there. You can take a better look at that.
Why do bodybuilders fasten the belt to the trunk? How important is it?
Say it one more time.
Why do bodybuilders fasten the belt to the trunk? How important is a belt?
Trunk meaning your waist. They do it, the bottom line is they do it because it increases your intra-abdominal pressure. Is it essential? No, not essential. All right. My man, Naran's gonna help me out. Did I say it right, Naran? Good, all right. So we're gonna do some weighted push-ups. I'm gonna use some wrist straps for this because, again, old war dog, but I broke my wrist in college, so I've got a little bit of arthritis in there, and too much wrist flexion can cause me some pain throughout the week. So by wrapping up, it's not preventing injury, but it helps me to decrease my range of motion in my wrists, which ultimately doesn't change my workout for this, and so I think it's reasonable. All right, dude, you want to chunk that sucker on my back and we'll get 15? Pull it. Thanks.
A question from YouTube. What is your favorite post-workout meal?
Oh man, I'm a big fan of apples and peanut butter. Apple gives you the quick sugar burst that you need from the carbohydrate. Peanut butter has high fat and a little bit of protein. And I partner that with a protein shake. So a protein shake, peanut butter, and an apple. Protein, carbs, fats. Satiety, fills the belly. I know I'm getting the protein I need for, to reconstruct those amino acids that I break down in my workout.
Clarence on YouTube wants to know, can somebody in their late 40s to early 50s do this training?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is perfect for someone in their late 40s, early 50s. I'm really close to the early 40s. So yeah, absolutely. This is something that are very simple movements. Hopefully I'm doing a decent job of showcasing what the actual form looks like, and you can just kind of mirror that. Weight doesn't matter. 4 sets of 15 is plenty of activity to get you into that anaerobic threshold there where you want to be to build muscle and lose fat. So yeah, 40s and 50s, this would be a great workout for you. Ready to go again? Thanks. If you don't have a spotter, This can be a little difficult, obviously. Like, I've got a good lifting partner that's going to help me out. If you don't have a spotter, I would recommend a weighted vest or a backpack. If you just throw a book bag, steal your kid's book bag, put a gallon of milk in there, it's going to give you a little bit of weight. You know, way to push up with a book bag.
You had mentioned that you had some injuries. Question from YouTube. Tell us about some of the gym injuries you've had and how you dealt with them.
So, gym injuries, I've only had one. I ruptured my adductor longus tendon in my hip, my groin. Same injury that Dwayne Johnson had. Tore that tendon off of the pubic symphysis. Incredibly painful. And I basically just had to rehab through it. It took me 2 years of rehab to get back to the point where it was scarred in and didn't hurt every day. That one's kind of a miserable injury. It's what we call a sports hernia. You can look that up. But I've had the little injuries here and there, like tendonitis in my elbows and, muscle tears like quad, lat, pec, not big tendon tears. I did tear my meniscus in the gym, but it was already kind of torn and worn out. And so I was loading up on a bench press, and as I pushed forward, it tore it the rest of the way. So other than that, all my injuries have come from outside of the gym. Okay, good? But how do you recover from that? How do you move forward? That's really what's more important, is don't give up. Injuries heal. The inconvenience of being injured is obviously worse for athletes than it is the actual pain. But be patient, give your body time to heal, and stick with it, don't give up. Make modifications and overcome your injury. Thanks, man. Cool.
This
So we did
question,
our squat. Hold on. Squat, weighted push-up, Romanian deadlift. Next, we're going to move on to a suitcase row. So I'm going to get set up for that question. Go ahead.
Sander on YouTube, a couple of questions on this actually. Why do you move so fast in your workout? Is it better to go slow throughout the movement, or is this a style?
No, this is definitely because I have a 1 hour time crunch to get the workout in. And because, I'm watching this clock, I'm trying to answer questions in between, trying to keep my mind right on what's coming up next. I probably blow through this way faster than I would in the actual gym, just doing it to try to get through it so you guys can see everything that we're getting to. So obviously, I'd recommend that you go slow, keep your function, or keep your form straight so that your function follows, and make sure you're feeling that muscle connection. But yeah, that's a good question. I'm speeding through this so that I can do a live workout for you. All right, suitcase row. Probably just gonna use the 60 pounder again. The thing about a suitcase row, it's a back exercise and to some capacity a rear delt and a bicep exercise too, but the big thing of the suitcase is you're not stabilized with anything other than your body, so it's a core stabilizing activity as well. And again, another question, like if I'm trying to move a 1 rep max, I want to move quickly, right? So the less time under tension, the better. So it's important to move fast, and it's important to get smooth and good form. So again, it comes down to your goal. If I'm just going through 15 reps as fast as I can, and I'm not going to get hurt because it's not like I'm doing a max effort, then that's okay, right? So a lot of it comes down to your goal and what your intention is. Don't try to be a form police for everybody when you see them in the gym and you think, oh, they're doing that too fast, they're doing it wrong. You might not know what their goal is. All right, 15 of these.
Drop the beat.
Elizabeth on YouTube wants to know, do you do any Pilates or yoga to help with recovery and helping with flexibility or range of motion?
I don't do it for recovery. I don't do Pilates because I don't have time. I love Pilates though. I don't do yoga because of time. If I had more time in my life, I would. Do I do it for recovery? No. But would I recommend it? Yes. Flexibility is definitely important. And I think you do just as much damage to your system in a good yoga class as you would do in a hard workout. So yoga's tough on the system. It really is. So would I do it for recovery? No. Would I recommend it? Yes. Do I do it? Unfortunately, no. I would if I had more hours in the day. I'm going to jump. Go ahead. Thank you for your comment, though.
Kenozi on YouTube.
Kenozi.
Do you incorporate cardio in your training at all, and how often do you do it?
Yeah, I do cardio every day. So 6 days a week, and then on the 7th day, I try to do cardio in a fun way with my family. But yeah, I recommend at least, for me personally, I do 15 to 20 minutes of cardio every day, if not more. Yeah. And again, that's because I just want to be healthy, right? I want to be healthy, I want to be strong, I want to be athletic, I want to be fit. I want to be able to run a 5K with my kid and not die. So that's why. Cardio is aerobic activity, right? It's good for your heart and your lungs. And actually for bodybuilders and strongman and powerlifters, it helps with the electron transport chain in your mitochondria. Actually makes you stronger. That's only 2 sets, huh? We might have to drop. In order to get through this whole thing, I might just do 2 sets on that because otherwise I'm not going to get through it all. So questions, fire away, and I'll move around here.
Sure. We actually got a question from Nick right here, one of our fellow bodybuilding.com.
Nick, my man.
He asks, how often should I change exercises?
Good question. If you're getting bored, or if it's becoming easy, I think you should change it. But a good friend of mine, Jake Hutton, you can look him up. He works with fitness culture. Jake Hutton has been doing the same thing for 20 years, 25 years probably. The guy has never plateaued, always getting stronger, always getting better. You can do the exact same exercise, work on your form, work on the rate of movement, the time under tension, the preserved exertion, all those variables. You can change all those things and get results. So the truth is, do you have to change exercises all the time? No, you don't have to. If you find something that works really well for you, you enjoy it, you can modify your tempo, the weight, all those things. You can still get bigger, faster, stronger. I mean, like my chest days have been the same for a decade. And I basically bench press, either dumbbells or barbell, incline fly, either barbell or incline press with a dumbbell, and then a variation of flies. I've been doing that for a decade. Still getting stronger, still got a, decently, I'm happy with the results I've got from that. So do you have to? No. Should you every once in a while? If you feel like it, it's totally okay. All right, so we're gonna get 3 sets of 15 with an easy bar curl, and then we'll finish it up with a rope press down.
put your hands up. Everybody put your hands up.
But I think 6 to 8 weeks, I've been thinking about that from my boy Nick. I think 6 to 8 weeks is enough time for you to basically hit that periodization time. So like after 8 weeks, at that point your body is going to be used to doing that activity. Your CNS is caught up to it. At that point you should be changing something, either weight, tempo, rep range, or exercise. Oh yeah. So gonna stay hydrated during this workout. I got my Amino Synergy here, flash sale today, Cage Muscle. Great company, third-party tested, patented ingredients. They really work hard on their quality control. I use their supplements. You can get a discount today, 25% off if you buy 3 products, 20% off if you buy 2 products, and 15% if you buy 1. And any day during the year, you can use my code, the DocThor15, for a discount. And I don't get any kickbacks from that. I've turned all those back in. I don't want to have any kickback from the sale of a product based on my opinion or recommendation, because as a physician, I value my ability to provide those recommendations, and I don't want people to think that I'm telling them to use a product that I'm getting paid to tell that I'm doing it. So I get a consulting fee for working for the company, and I get a fee for my services as their doctor, but I don't get kickback for selling any supplements. So you can kind of take that recommendation. It's my personal recommendation, and you can save some money today if you want to go on their site.
Question from YouTube. The DC bad boy wants to know, can I do this routine circuit style? And what would that include? Would you change the reps or anything?
Yeah, so you can do the circuit style. So you basically start off and you go squat, push-ups, deadlifts, easy bar curl, suitcase row, rope push down, and you basically just doing that one set all the way through, take a couple of breaks, come back and do the same thing all the way through. That's more of like a CrossFit style. It's gonna keep your heart rate up. You're probably gonna have to decrease your weights a little bit, but you could absolutely do that in a circuit style. I mean, I'm sweating, like I'm warm. You know, it's a good workout. Like, it's not a bodybuilding workout, it's not a powerlifting workout, it's just a overall fitness workout, functional workout, total body strong, 3-day workout on the program. Today is the day 5 of the program. You can find that on All Access on bodybuilding.com. Sorry, it's on BodyFit. Was previously on bodybuilding.com. But yeah, it's a program you can look into and you can give it a try.
Martins on YouTube wants to know, how do you stay disciplined?
Good question. I'll have to do, that's a whole question and answer session for me, but this is what I love doing. I love exercise, I love weightlifting. So for me, it doesn't require discipline. It's what I love to do. It's my career, it's my passion, it's what I enjoy doing. But I think that discipline and commitment matter so much more than motivation and inspiration, because there's gonna be mornings where you're gonna wake up and there's piss poor motivation. You're gonna wake up and you're not gonna feel inspired. You have to be committed, you have to be disciplined. So how do I stay disciplined and committed? It's not a question for anymore, it's part of what I do. It's like breathing to me. It's not a goal to be fit, it's not a goal to get stronger, it's just what I love doing. And so I don't have to worry about discipline or commitment anymore. It's part of my life. It's like, well, I have to sleep every day. Part of my life. I have to do that. I have to kiss my kids and my wife every day. Part of my life. It's what I have to do. I have to lift weights every day. It's what I do. So I think that for me is a long, drawn-out answer, but for everybody that's going to be different. But I would definitely say that the word discipline that you used is absolutely more appropriate than how do you stay motivated, because I have no answer for how I stay motivated. I just love doing this. 15 of those. I do get inspiration throughout the day though, watching people achieve their goals and exceed their own expectations and hit PRs, whether that's in life, with their career, with their family. Shout out to Boone. Boone Bartlemay is a patient, a client that I have that had a cervical spinal injury, paralyzed from the neck down. Kid's walking, just maxed on bench press at 135. Let that sink in for a minute. 6 years ago, couldn't move his fingers, just maxed on bench press 135. That weight might not impress anybody as a max, but the amount of effort that kid has had to put in and the insurmountable odds that he's overcome, that's inspiring to me. So again, I'm ripping through those quickly because I'm trying to get through this, but rope, cable, press down. You can do this with a band. You can do this with a rope. You could do it if you had to with an overhead dumbbell extension if you don't have a cable press, but basically you're just extending at the elbow, flexing the tricep.
Clarence on YouTube. What kind of doctor are you, and are you Dr. Thor?
I am Dr. Thor, Doc Thor, D-O-C-T-H-O-R, Doc Thor, and Fa Thor. A lot of Thor acronyms in my life, but I am a sports medicine doctor. So I'm a sports medicine is basically the musculoskeletal system, orthopedics, and sports performance, human performance, and optimization. So 4-year undergraduate degree in chemistry and kinesiology, medical degree, and then following that residency, following that fellowship in sports medicine so that I could specialize in orthopedics and sports medicine, sports performance. So huge niche in my clients, my patients with sports performance, athletic rehab, orthopedic injury, acute injury, chronic injury, everything from neck to toes.
What is your favorite non-gym hobby?
Oh man, fishing, fly fishing, and anything that my kids are doing. So with the exception of Fortnite, I can't do the little like Fortnite dances like kids are doing these days. No, can't do that. Fortnite, not my favorite, but love fly fishing, love mountain biking, snowboarding, wakeboarding, bow hunting. I mean, those are definitely my outside of the gym kind of favorite activities. I love adrenaline, so ride a Harley, motorcycles, love doing those type of things. Being outside. Let's hit another one of these. All right, more questions. You guys are super involved. I really appreciate it. It makes this feel like I'm in a gym full of people, and it's a lot nicer, a lot easier to do.
Debbie on YouTube, just wanted to say you're doing amazing. Hope to see more. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. Appreciate it. You can check it out, too, on my Instagram. It's muscledoc_KR. I try to put up a weekly video of me rambling in clinic about sports injuries, about rehab, inspiration for life, relationship advice, all the life coaching that I do. So if it's something that's beneficial for you, please, by all means, check it out. I just want to try to help people have a reasonable source of information. So,
Anthony, this actually goes back to, I believe, the suitcase row. What's the benefit of doing the one arm at a time without a bench?
Yeah, so more than anything, it's stability. So doing it one arm without a bench requires you to focus in on your core, the rectus muscles, the transverse abdominis, the erector spinae group. So you're focused on keeping your core solid and tight, keeping your back. So if I'm, my back's straight, my legs are bent, and I'm rowing, so I'm feeling the weight through my lat as I'm pulling the weight, and then some of my rear delt, and then I'm feeling that eccentric or the isometric contraction in my hamstrings, my glutes, my low back. So more than anything, it's just for stability. You can do the same thing on a bench. You're going to isolate your lat a little bit more, and by isolate, I don't mean that, not a true isolation, but you'll incorporate that more than the other things with a stabilization technique. Fire another one at me.
This comes from our podcast host, Nick Colias. He's upstairs right now. He's tuning in. He's got some great question coming in. Is training arms really necessary, or are pushes and pulls enough?
And that is an awesome question, because I have a good friend. I train arms. Not that it might not show, but I like training arms. I've got a good friend who's a CrossFitter. His name's Matt Chan. That guy doesn't train arms very often, if at all. His arms are huge and incredibly strong. So I don't think you have to do bicep curls, tricep extension, if you're doing pushing and pulling, which is kind of what this program is all about, right? So a push, a pull, a squat, a hinge, 3 days a week. You can still build your body, build your muscles, just perhaps in a different way. So is it essential to do those things, Nick? I don't think so. I think you can still develop those muscle groups doing the pushing and pulling, but I appreciate it because it's something I enjoy doing.
Debbie wants to know, we had a question earlier about, is this program for beginners? And this question from Debbie, she asked, would this be as beneficial for someone with more advanced, who is more advanced to build muscle?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you gotta determine what advanced is, right? I'm 25 years into training, being a personal trainer and a physician, and I feel like I could do this workout for 6-8 weeks and see a benefit from it. I would have to change the amount of weight. I would definitely have to increase the amount of weight, decrease the amount of rest time, but I could definitely see benefit from doing this. And I don't know if I would be considered advanced or not, but after 25 years, I've learned a few things, made a few mistakes. So I would say, yeah, anybody can use this.
Yeah, pretty sure 25 years puts you in the advanced category there, doctor.
Maybe. They say 10,000 hours, right? That's what it takes. I'm definitely well past that. All right. We're about out of time, huh? Better get some more questions in before I call it quits.
What is the best exercise to build legs apart from squats?
Again, it kind of comes down to what part of your legs you're trying to develop. Because legs, right, you got glutes, hamstrings, quads, calves. I think that squats aside, I think a leg press or a hack squat will build your legs in general, anterior, posterior, probably as good, if not better than anything else. So hopefully that's a vague answer, but hopefully that's sufficient.
Going with that, the leg theme here, what's your take on the hack squat?
It's definitely useful, right? So the hack squat changes where that weight is distributed and loaded on the quad tendon. Your quad is 4 muscle groups, right? And it's a long muscle group. And part of your quad, the rectus femoris, helps you to basically flex at the hip. And the rest of them, the VMO, the lateral, and the intermedius, those help extend at the knee. So it has a huge range of motion at the knee and the hip that is incorporated. And so changing the exercises based around different volume and different rep ranges and different targets, I think it's beneficial to use different exercises and different weights and different sets and different reps. I think hack squat works really well. If you're someone who has less range of motion in your hips, hack squat's great because it puts more pressure on the distal quad, so down closer to your knees, where you can still build your quad and preserve your hip joint. So I think hack squats are definitely useful.
All right, last question. Where can people find you on social?
Yeah, so Dr. Kaleb Redden, Doc Thor. I'm on Instagram at muscledoc_KR. I know there's a couple of guys out there with the Muscle Doc name or whatever, but mine's muscledoc_KR. And I do have a Facebook page. I'm never on it, so don't reach out to me through that. This is a bodybuilding.com live workout. These guys do a phenomenal job of providing content that's, global across the scope and spectrum for fitness and health. I think they do a phenomenal job of the content that they bring. I work for Cage Muscle as a consultant and as their team physician, as their team doctor. Talk today about the supplements that I use, and today there's a flash sale on Cage Muscle that you can grab. If you get there and buy 3 products, you get 25% off, 2 products, 20%, 1 product, 15%. Great products, third-party tested, patented ingredients, clean formulas, effective dosages. Definitely worthwhile if supplements are something you're interested in. They have tons of content and information about understanding the ingredients. And I think that bodybuilding.com does a great job of bringing athletes and fitness community members together to try to help them with education and learning and provide an avenue for them to improve their health and fitness. And as a physician who specializes in, people living healthier, more full, active lives, kudos to bodybuilding.com. Love the company, and Caged Muscle as well. I think they do a good job for both of those things. So find me on Instagram, muscledoc_KR, and get strong, get healthy, get fit. There's no substitute for strength, and there's no excuse for lack of it. So get off the couch, go get this workout in, get yourself built, all right? Y'all have a good day.
3, you have capabilities that you don't even know about. 2,
Push yourself, challenge yourself.
1,
This is where you leave the excuses and you make some real change.
You have to push through, because that's really where you change your body.
Whenever you can turn the can't into look what I just did, that's honestly the best story.
You're going to become unstoppable.
Have a great time along the way.